Hello.
Hi, we are some of the Kaiser Chiefs. I'm Ricky,
Hello, I'm Simon.
and you're clicked onto intro DE. Keep clicking. He approached us to help make the record, and we'd met him a few times. We liked him. We got on with him. So I think that's the premier thing you should think of when working with someone. If you don't get on with them, it would always be a nightmare. But no, because he asked, and no one else asked, so he got points for that. He was begging, in fact.
Also, I mean, I complete myself. I wasn't even that keen on Mark Ronson. And then suddenly he was very successful. He won 6 Grammys or something, didn't he? Or they won 6 Grammys between them. And I just thought, you should probably give this guy a chance. He might have something to offer.
Yeah. Yes, 6 Grammys can't be wrong. When I see him in the papers, I don't think of him as the same person as I think of when he's in the studio. He's a lot more. When he's on TV and being all laid back and cool. Hey, I'm Mark Ronson.
I think there's more than one of him.
There must be, because how could he be in Cannes one night at a film opening and be in the studio the next morning, asleep all day? He slept a lot in the studio because he's a party animal. Yeah, basically we hired him because he slept a lot and we could get away with what we wanted to do. It was a definite co-produce of the record. We just wanted to work with. We wanted to work with people who were not necessarily that comfortable and just stuck in a rut. And he's very young. He was 29 when he made the record, and he's not one of those producers that has found their sound, found their way of doing things. I don't think he's ever co-produced a record before. Mark hadn't co-produced a record before. We didn't know what it was going to be like when we got into the studio. In fact, they met on the first day in the studio, and it was I think it was just really lucky that everyone worked well together, and there was a kind of a feeling that we were really trying to do the best for the record rather than the best for the individuals involved. So I loved working with Elliot, and I would definitely work with him again and again.
This album, more than ever, it depended. There were some songs, for instance, Remember You're a Girl, definitely, and Never Miss a Beat, I think most of, and a few others where Nick, the drummer, came with songs that he'd written on his own, came in the thing, and although we obviously always change him slightly or add bits or move things around,
Or write lyrics,
and write lyrics. We wrote the most stuff ever in the studio. There's a couple of songs entirely written in the studio, and lyrics where Ricky, I think on the last albums, has always gone in the studio with pretty much finished lyrics, whereas this time we were writing them, he was writing them, even when he was singing them.
Rather than tell it like it is and just explain everything so that it's obviously about that thing, we wanted to put images and pictures in people's heads so that when you're listening to it, you've got this mental image of what's going on. And it was funny because it wasn't so much we worked hard on that, it was just it came a lot more naturally this time with making the record, and I think that it makes it better. The catchphrase thing is something, because the lyrics can also be one of the biggest hooks in a record, which is well known. It's not a new surprise, that, but I think we've always liked songs that did that, so we've always done that ourselves.
I like it when you see in newspapers the hook lines, for, I don't know, there's been some kind of
A riot.
There's always a riot. That's a bit boring, that though. But they put I predict and then something else that rhymes with riot or whatever. It's it's a new story. I like that. I think it's cool. I think it means you're in the public psyche or whatever. I don't know, crossed some borders.
Well, lots of things like that. From the first album we had a few of those things. The second album we made
Every Day I Love You, Dress and Dress, or something like that.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
about someone's outfit
Dress.
at the Brits.
But on the second record, a year later, then Ruby's the most popular name in Britain, and that's kind of a good thing because you think, right, we've really crossed over the social, thing. And then on this record, someone was saying the other day, so "tomato in the rain," is that like a phrase in England to describe someone being sad? We're like, it is now. So I'd like it if people started using some of the phrases from
When
the new
there's a
record.
tomato famine next summer due
Yeah.
to the global warmings.
It's not really about half-hearted youngsters. It's more about youngsters that don't have a total disregard for authority and a lack of any thought about consequence. We're not judging them or saying it's a bad thing, even though sometimes it can lead to bad stuff. But I think it's more of a celebration of that feeling, and the fact that, personally, I'm a little bit jealous of the fact that these kids don't give a shit about anything. And I wish I'd have been more like that in my life, and not so concerned about getting told off at school or not doing things that I should have, done just for the sake of it.
I was talking to my girlfriend about it as well, because Sarah doesn't like it. But
Really?
thinking that it also says that because they never miss a beat, kind of thing. Even though you might see groups of teenagers and they're being, maybe antisocial and that, it doesn't mean they're written off, because they're still in their they're still on it, if you know what I mean. They can still be.
Yeah, but it's about lots of things, because I kind of take that never miss a beat bit about the fact that kids, right, who have got their ear to the ground and are on the street, they're the first people to create a fashion, and the first people to, not just fashion clothes wise, but fashion music wise, fashion everything wise, but they're also the first people to dismiss it once it's over. And then by the time they've dismissed it and it's over, that's when it starts being in Top Shop window, or it starts being on the Radio Cool or whatever. So it's about that as well. Thing is, it's about lots of things. It's about crisps.